a while, pure was standard. Everyone brought pure, as I remembered. But yeah, that's also fallen out of favor.
Yeah, rest in peace. Rest in Pyramidion. The Mobula, I think, like the death of the Pyrrha really came with the advent of Hades' Dual Artemis, because the Pyramidion is just kind of a slow. It's a very vulnerable ship. It's very easy. Its hitbox is very large and round, so it's very easy to hit with those long range weapons. So once the Hades Dual Artemis, the Junker started to take off. Once the Mobula was introduced and people started picking up on that with the same set of guns, like that was kind of the end of the Pyramidion's dominance. And then even after it had already declined a lot, then Muse goes ahead and nerfs it a bit, and
Yeah.
now it's pretty much unplayed at this level.
We've seen Keb bring it a few times. But let's go ahead and do the loadouts.
All right, first off, this is our loser. This is our losers finals match. One of these, it's crazy. This is the losers finals. One of these Titans is going to be eliminated from the tournament in this game. And first off, let me switch the names here so they are correct. We have the Skyborne, the red team. We have Sunstrom, Center Hades, Mobula, Dual Artemis on the lower deck, Gatling, Light Flak on the outer wings, and Alpha Mike Foxtrot, their ally, also a Center Hades Mobula, also with Dual Artemis on the lower deck, and with a Light Flak and a Flare Gun on the outer wings, piloted by Dark Knight.
And on blue team, we have the Friendfish, piloted by Dementio. It is a Watchafish with light carronades on both sides. We also have the Liberator, piloted by Skybox. It is a Meta Galleon with a Hades, Lumberjack, Light Flak left side, and Watcha carronade right side.
Okay, so let's talk about this a little bit. So one of the reasons the Galleon has really fallen out of play is because it brings a lot of firepower to the table. It's very tanky, but it relies on heavy weapons, and those heavy weapons are very close together on the ship. And that's bad because it makes it vulnerable to the AoE, the shatter disable damage of the Hades Dual Artemis builds. So it's very easy to keep a Galleon suppressed pretty much indefinitely because you're just putting out so much AoE damage that's hitting all the heavy weapons. And the heavy weapons they take so long to rebuild.
So long, especially if you only have a gunner down there repairing them. Because oftentimes, what I predict is going to happen a few times during this match is Liberator's going to have to call up their other NG to the top deck to try to tank for Friendfish, but then they only have a gunner repairing those bottom guns.
So I think, yeah, a lot of this is going to come down to Friendfish, which, in fact, getting spotted by some great flares from Skyborne. You know, once again, very good at setting up a defensive position and protecting it. Now, Friendfish is going to have to prove distraction here so that the Galleon, before the Galleon's guns go down, they get some Lumberjack shots out, they get some balloon disables. That's very important. Because really, I feel like the longer the fight goes on, the more and more the advantage will go into the Mobula's favors as they start getting those gun disables, engine disables, start racking up fire damage with the Hades.
See, both these modules targeting the Liberator now, which can get into cover so they're not in too big... it's not a big issue. Problem is, I just don't see... It'll be real tough for this Friendfish to get a good engagement on two Mobulus with their Galleon so far away.
And definitely not from a front charge like this. Like anything that they really want to get done, it's going to have to be from an angle that the Skyborne does not expect. They can't just charge into the sniper lane. That's not going to work out very well. And you see Friendfish now pulling back, repositioning a bit. They might be going east, but... Skyborne's repositioning as well. And I think this is very smart because you don't want... They know the Goldfish is going to try to sneak up on them. And they don't want that to happen, so here they are continuing to move throughout the map, keeping their last known location, making that irrelevant.
Might be moving on the Liberator right here. They can afford to be pretty aggressive, as long as two Mobulus in position can easily support each other if the fish pops out of pops out of nowhere. As long as the fish isn't too close,
Ooh.
they'll have plenty of distance.
Maybe an ill-advised watch barrage there, revealing the fish's location without doing without doing any damage. Or mobulas are a little far away for that, friend.
And watches are typically not too great against mobulas. At close range, you can break all their front guns, but you have to get pretty close for that to happen. And then you're on a really long reload. Before you reload, the mobulas are going to have their guns back up, and their engines are also protected. That's key. You can hit their guns, but at least, unless you're real close, those engines are going to, at least some of them are going to survive.
And until you start racking up the carronade damage from the side guns of the goldfish, the mobula are very good at dodging incoming watcher barrages. So it can be very difficult to kind of take one on in a solo engagement.
And you see the friendfish is bringing incendiary ammo for the carronades, which it would be great if the mobulas, if you get fire on these mobula balloons, it would be great. But if they chem spray before you start getting those carronades out, then you're really hurting yourself by using that incendiary ammo, because incendiary reduces the rate of fire and the clip size, so you're doing overall less damage. And if these mobulas get chem spray on the balloon, it's going to be a problem.
Okay. I was wondering if it's even possible to view the balloon in spectator, but apparently it is. It's just a very specific angle. And as we can see here, both the balloons, or actually only one balloon, Alpha Mike Foxtrot's balloon is chem sprayed. Oh no, they're both doing a good job keeping that balloon chemmed.
There is just barely enough time to chem spray during the Artemis reload to chem spray the balloon. Yeah, you see both these mobulas have 2 chem sprays on their ship, which I normally see an extinguisher on the left side, but chem spray is very strong, especially because the left side mobula, the hole on the mobula is actually a lot closer to the gun than the balloon is to the gun. So it takes a lot less time to go from the hole gun to the hole than from the balloon gun to the hole.
And often in like pub matches, you see a lot of people bringing extinguishers on the mobula just because it is you can do it, but it's a very tight window to go back and forth from the gun during the reload. So often, people bringing extinguisher to make that a little bit easier, so you don't have to keep that chem up. But in these competitive matches where you want to, make sure that every attack vector is covered, that's a pretty nice advantage to have, being immune to that fire damage.
Absolutely. Yeah, I typically run mobulas with extinguisher on the left side, because you can get by with just an extinguisher on the left side, but you really need that chem spray on the balloon side. It's real important if you're up against any type of a fire weapon. But, see, we haven't really seen a solid engagement yet.
No, nobody's... Like, Liberator's been hanging out pretty far back, not wanting to expose his guns preemptively. And because of that, like, Friendfish has just he's been holding this forward position, like he's ready to pounce when the situation presents itself, but it just hasn't yet.
A 15 fire stack on the engine and the galleon from a flare. A flare just managed to hit this galleon's engine, which got a 15 fire stack.
Oh no, and unfortunately, no extinguishers on this galleon, so that's going to take an extremely long time to put that out. And in the meantime, Friendfish is he's been rooted out of his little cove. He needs to try to escape from these 2 mobs.
Liberators changing their position. They had to take away all of their forward momentum. Now they're moving backwards to try to get some shots onto the Alpha Mike Foxtrot, which they're hitting, but it won't be too difficult for these 2 mobulas to just zone out the galleon and just target out this fish.
Yeah, this is a pretty tight window that they can shoot through. Like, there's no way Friendfish can sustain through this fight. They need to find a way to escape. But I'm not sure they're going to be able to. They're taking sniper fire from 2 mobs. Their balloon taking a lot of fire damage from the Hades. And here we go. They're going to try to back up through here, but I think they're going to die on their way out. Hades coming in, Artemis coming in. I think I saw light flak as well coming from the Foxtrot.
Yes, and from the Skyborne, I think. Oh yeah, both red ships have light flaks? Looks like it.
Yeah, Mike Foxtrot has flak flare, then Skyborne has flak Gatling. So yeah, with Friendfish going down, Liberators caught across enemy lines. He's out of here. He's gonna try to sneak away through the eastern pass. Or is he? He's kind of... I'm not sure what Liberator's doing here, because Friendfish, they're very close to Red's position and very close to Red's side of the map. It's going to be a while before Friendfish can rejoin them. And now Liberator, because the Skyborne has been very good with these flares, like the idea of hanging out in a cloud hoping you don't get spotted, very dangerous for this galleon.
Very dangerous indeed, especially they're being sandwiched between these two Mobulus. You can start taking a lot of damage. Friendfish is coming in on the Alpha Mike Foxtrot. This might be a chance for Blue Team to do something if Friendfish can get their carronades and or maybe even ram the Alpha Mike into a rock. It's an insta-kill.
Yeah, you saw Liberator also dropping down there, trying to keep their guns protected, but it means Friendfish is exposed here and has now lost their balloon to the onslaught of Hades, but Liberator in return gets a nice barrage, heavy carronade and Hwacha into the Alpha Mike Foxtrot. So Foxtrot going to be dropping here. However, Liberator's hull is down.
We see light flaks. Oh man. Ooh. That hurts.
Yeah, a little bit of a slow rebuild on Liberator's hull armor.
That's
yeah.
There's fires, and there's a 16. They flared out the Hwacha.
Oof.
They flared out the Hwacha in the galleon.
And I think that's one of the reasons that both these red ships do have access to the light flak, because the galleon has so much health. You want to be able to put out the maximum amount of damage possible, and light flak gives you that possibility.
Absolutely. Same thing with this fish. The fish has 1100 health, which is the second most in the game, and light flaks can just... Hades will break Fish's armor so quickly, and that light flak will kill him. You can shoot a fish quite a while with just Artemis, but that light flak will really finish off a fish.
This galleon is not working out for the Storm Riders. They just haven't had any opportunity to really utilize their long-range guns. The only thing they're really afforded here is by the Lumberjack. That's their real advantage. But they haven't had any possibility to really use it, because these fights are taking... All these fights have kind of taken place in the canyon area of the map, so Liberators had a lot of difficulty finding good angles while the Friendfish has been fighting at close distance. I don't know. I'm not sure. What would you like to see Storm Riders do here? Because they obviously can't hold back because they're at a 3-point deficit and the timer's counting down.
I think the galleon has to charge in, get their broadside, try to do something against one of those Mobulus, and the fish has to get a great engagement on the other one. They have to get a full watch in them and start carrying them down and ram them into something. If they can get a good ram into a rock, and there's lots of rocks around here. If you can get a ram into a rock, you can kill one of these Mobulus instantly.
But that's gonna be tough, considering Skyborne's positioning here very high up, kind of in the middle of their open spawn area, so not really any nearby rocks. Any fast kill from the Friendfish going to definitely be highly reliant on the balloon disable and probably following them all the way to the ground.
And the last thing Blue wants to do is fight them out in their spawn. And the galleon isn't really going to be useful at these ranges. I think they really have to go in and brawl. Otherwise, they're just going to get disabled if they try to if they engage 1-on-1 against those even 2-on-1 against the red team. I think they have to just try to burn in and get their right side onto one of these Mobulus.
And that's what they're doing here. Liberator booking it. Friendfish repositioning on the opposite side. Storm Riders going for a flank. We see some lumberjacks coming out. We've got okay, there we go.
Okay.
I think we both watched that third lumberjack fly by. They do get the balloon disable on Alpha Mike Foxtrot, and Friendfish going to be following them down. Here's that ram they might be able to get. Oh, just barely going underneath.
Yeah, that was a mistake. Alpha Mike doesn't even have hydrogen. The Friendfish really should have gotten that big old ram on them. And now they're taking a ton of damage. Light Flax going out.
Ooh. Oh, the light. Oh god, those light flax. But with the focus being turned on Friendfish, Liberator has gotten some nice lumberjack hits into the Skyborne. They are going to be packing Drogue Shoot to stay in the air. And Friendfish is so low.
So low.
Next hull break going to be the end for the Friendfish.
Yeah.
Think? No follow up from Red Team. So it's
as soon as they lose their balloon, they're dead.
Yeah. However, Alpha Mike Foxtrot armor's down.
If we see a heavy flak, this could be it.
This could be a point for Storm Riders.
Yeah.
Which I guess is all they can really hope for.
And one thing about the Liberator, this light flak this heavy flak is only useful when their armor breaks. I think even like a watch would be more useful in these situations because I really haven't seen a heavy flak do any significant work.
I've seen some good double lumberjack builds as well. Because you can often focus down, keep two targets suppressed if you just catch them unaware for just a moment. But Red Team not caught unaware here. They are moving in on the Liberator. This big ship is not going to be able to get out of this fight, unfortunately. And I think that's going to be it. That's going to be the 5th point for the Skyborne, dominating the Storm Riders in what I think we both agree is a pretty unfavorable matchup in Mobula versus Galleon.
Yes, agreed.